How can we teach students to learn articulation and dynamics terms in a really memorable way? Well, here's a 3-step system that you can implement into your teaching right now. In Ultimate Music Theory Expert Tip number 4, Learn Time Signature, you learned about the 3 essential steps to adding rest in simple time. Now, in UMT Expert Tip number 5, Learn Articulation and Dynamics, you will discover why we need to learn Italian terms and marks or signs and symbols that indicate how to perform a piece of music and how these musical terms can change everything. For the best Ultimate Music Theory Expert tips on how to teach UMT, subscribe to our UMT channel. Just hit the little button to be notified when I post a new video. I'm Gloria St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory. Today we will break it down into 3 steps in analysis. Plus, I've got a super fun bonus step for you at the end of this video. When you teach UMT in the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook, together with the Prep Level Rudiments Workbook, that's the green book on the cover right here, we learn how to analyze music, including the importance of understanding musical terms and signs. So dynamics means volume, how loud or how soft we play our music. Articulation means touch, how quickly or how smoothly we play our music. And when we analyze the melody, we discover, how does the composer really intend for the music to be played? What happens when you alter the given musical terms, signs, or symbols for dynamics or articulation, and does it really matter? Well, let's start with the Prep Supplemental Workbook on page 22. Let's take a look inside. On page 22, and this is such a great book for your beginner students to work through. So on page 22, when they're checking out page 22, this page is completed after the Prep 1 Rudiments Workbook on page 102. So you can see it's written right at the top of the page here. And here's how this 3 steps of analysis works. So first, step 1. Analyze the meaning of dynamics. Okay, so dynamics are Italian terms and signs that indicate the volume. Remember how loud or how soft the music is going to be played. The dynamic symbols or signs indicate changes in dynamics too, because it could be gradually getting louder or, of course, gradually getting softer. Now, there's 3 ways to engage in learning dynamics, and they are to have students first look at page 22, which is the page that we're on right here, and see the dynamic terms and symbols. We want them to recognize them and to give the definition. The second thing is to hear the dynamics. So you might want to just play a short little melody for them and identify the Italian term of the volume. So if I played a little melody here, just based on, some dynamic variations, let's see if you could tell. Could you tell that was piano? And you can play the same piece, just changing the dynamics from piano to forte at various, different dynamic levels, or they can even use crescendo. The second step is to analyze the meaning of articulation. Now, articulation refers to a way that a note can be played, and different types of sounds are created by using different articulation or touch. So articulation, Italian terms or marks indicate touch. So, how's a note played? Is a note stressed, which means to play it a little bit louder, or staccato, meaning detached, or legato, meaning that the notes are being played smoothly? Now, when you teach UMT, there are 3 ways to engage in learning articulation. Remember, on page 22 in the Prep Level Supplemental Workbooks, so students can see the articulation terms or marks, and they can give the definitions. And remember, students can hear the articulation. So remember to play that short little melody for them and identify the Italian term of touch. So when we're thinking about touch, we're thinking about staccato, little polka dots here, to play sharply detached. And when we think about smoothly, we have the legato marking of a slur here. That tells us to play smoothly. Dynamics, forte, piano, or crescendo. So I'll play a little 2-bar melody for you and see if you can hear the difference between the articulation, staccato or legato. So here's the first one. You would identify that as staccato, obviously. What about this one? Ah, the beautiful legato. So now it's your student's turn to play or sight read a short melody and implement various articulation into their performance. Comment below and tell me what's maybe the one thing that your students struggle with when you are implementing dynamics and articulation into their music. Now, I've created a free gift for you, the Ultimate Music Theory Teacher's Guide that you can download right now. The link is in the description below, and let me know how you enjoy this gift. Now, the third analysis is to analyze the music itself. Be a musical detective. When you teach UMT, there are 3 ways to engage in learning analysis. So have students look at page 22 in their prep level workbook, and they can see the written musical score and identify the dynamics and the articulation marks and give the definition. So let's take a look at our music. So here we have our little musical composition in 3/4 time. And we're going to look at our dynamics first. Can you see how we start piano? Then we have our crescendo, and finally we build up to forte. So once we identify that, the next step is to hear the melody as you play it for them and listen to the dynamics and listen to the articulation. Now let's add articulation. So now we have our 3/4 time, our little melody moving up, and we can easily see that we've got our same melody with our same rhythmic patterns. I'll just fix up our little 8th notes here so you can see them. And now we've added our legato slur, forte, legato slur, piano, and staccato dots. And the fun thing about doing this is that students really love to be imaginative. So I'm going to play this little melody for you and see if you can identify the Italian terms of the volume, the dynamics, the touch, articulation, right? And use this piece as an analysis piece. All right, so you ready? Here it goes. Could you hear the difference? Great. So use this piece as a sight reading exercise. So have your students say, it's time for me to play that, and play their melody and implement the various dynamics and articulation into their performance. Now, add the bonus step. Ready? The bonus step is play the opposite game. You know what? Everybody loves to play the opposite game. I think it's hilarious. Have your students play the same melody using opposite dynamics. Try it for yourself. It's really super fun. And you will really have to think about it because you want to make sure to play everything opposite. And share your opposite game with us in the Ultimate Music Theory Facebook group. Now, one more perk when you're teaching the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook is to use your handy answer book. And the answer book is just a simple guide for you as a teacher to quickly assess your students' learning, and it's a great time saver for you. So that's why we've created it for you. I hope you like it. For more information on how you can join our community and teach UMT, simply go to teachumt.com. I can honestly say that we have helped thousands of musicians and music teachers master music theory concepts and implement all of these tips into their teaching, both in person and teaching online. To learn more about how you can teach UMT, just go to teachumt.com and I'll see you on the inside. In expert tip number 6, you will learn music history, and you will discover how to learn music history and why we need to learn it. And I'll share my number 1 secret with you. It's a secret. The secret is the number 1 way to teach music history to make it memorable, and why we need to learn these powerful lessons. Till next time, teach with passion.